All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Today, I want to talk about the spiritual path in general. All right. And we are going to be talking about that in Pathfinders this week. We're going to take a little break from our meditation studies. The last 4 weeks, I think, I've given you some techniques to work on meditation, and I'm going to ask you to keep doing that. But the next thing I want to really look at is our spiritual path, and that's why I'm doing this reading today. Our spiritual path in terms of major shifts happening 2025 into 2026, particularly the Saturn Neptune cycle that we're in. This is going to be super important in February of next year. However, we are in a period of time where we're leading up to that. We've just had Neptune drop into Aries. We're going to have Saturn drop into Aries. It is the beginning of a new cycle. What's so interesting about February next year is that we have an exact 0 degrees conjunction of the two planets in Aries, which is known as the Aries point, which is very, very powerful. And I want to get you guys some information on what that might mean for you in terms of your spiritual path. This week, the little crate can't contain her anymore. That's okay. So this week, we are going to talk about what you might expect. And I definitely have been having a lot of breakthrough moments myself in my own channeling about, how shall I say this, the next level of spiritual path. And so we've been working with, I did a class. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, do it, because I'm giving a free class on I can't shuffle and think at the same time. On the spiritual path, meaning dark night of the soul, all the different stages of the spiritual path. I want to kind of get you to understand that there's a next level opening. Twin flames, there's going to be a next level Kundalini opening. And this is going to include a lot more galactic information than I have ever brought through before, because that's really what's being shared with me right now. So let's just look and see about the spiritual path that we're talking about here and how that's going to impact us, this big change, this big shift in 2025 and into 2026 and beyond. We're talking about, well, I'll give you the day. I'll do the astrology for you in the extended, but let's just look at this right now. So first light, beginning a new cycle. Hello. Yes, we are. We're not going to eat Charlie's food. She has her own food in a little crate. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. And valiant courage, take action with passion. This is what's happening right now. So we are on the cusp of this brand new era, this new cycle. I've recommended to you the Yuga Shift book. That's in the newsletter too. And really, this is about big, major cycles that happen on this planet. And you can track them with historical events and everything like that. I really want to talk about us personally, spiritually, the spiritual community that comes to my channel. You guys are all teachers and healers and guides and mystics and shamans, and like all of this really being woken up in a lot of you. And that's how some of you find me. That's how a lot of you find me, actually. And we're now being, I don't know if reawakened is the term. It's like a cycle, right? Like we're going up to the next level. And this last 8 years that I've been doing this on YouTube, we really talked a lot about this wandering path and about the journey itself as non-linear. Okay. And it's a little bit like the grief cycle, where you think you're out of it. There's other stuff that you need to work through. So you get cycled back around into maybe a new dark night of the soul, or a new path or a new cycle in this time where you're really looking more deeply at your spirituality. You're kind of, purging people or whatever you're doing. There's going to be another level of this. And I feel like it has to do with this Saturn Neptune conjunction. So this right now is kind of where we are. This impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. That can be intermittently happening in 2025. And then this valiant courage this year, stepping into the new era, is really going to require a lot of courage. So there may have been some people on the spiritual path who really kind of may have fallen off it, or may have sort of gone backward a little bit, or gone sideways, or gotten stuck in part of the spiritual path. And it's going to take a collective level of courage to really move us in a new direction, move us in a path toward enlightenment. Okay. And that's what I feel like is going to be coming. I feel like right now we're in some kind of dark age where we are, maybe burning off the energy of, greed and materialism. And we're really, sort of moving on from that. All right. But it has to happen. Like we can't, it's not like, sunrise happens at noon, right? It's not an abrupt thing. It's more of a gradual thing. Okay. As I'm doing this reading, Saturn is at about 25 degrees of Pisces, and the lessons of the old cycle, right? Pisces, very spiritual sign. It is about our connection to this path. And we're coming to sort of like a culmination of it. And you could look at this as it's possible that you might be coming to the end of, it's the end of the beginning. It's not the beginning of the end. Okay. And so the wandering path, now the next level, getting to the next level, is going to require us to take some kind of action, valiant courage. We have Neptune is at 0 degrees Aries right now. Okay, that 0 degrees Aries point is really powerful. And Neptune being at 0 degrees, not conjunct Saturn, but just Neptune itself being at 0 degrees, is sort of like the dawn of this new age, the dawn of our, new path here. So let's see what Spirit wants to bring through about that. 8 of Swords. What I was started to say was that there is a gradual transition. It doesn't just happen overnight that all of a sudden we're in the age of Aquarius. All of a sudden we're all enlightened. Like there is a gradualness to it, because we do live in this 3D timeline. And, once we sort of move beyond this very heavy, old energy, a lot of us on the spiritual path have felt like maybe like a fish out of water, very Piscean image, or like, we're kind of, surrounded on all sides, clowns to the left of us, jokers to the right. And you may have felt that, but in this, I feel like Saturn, the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune, is going to bring structure to this path. So that will be an opening. That will be an awakening for those of us already on the path. But Saturn is also bringing in people who haven't been dealing with this spiritual awakening at all. Okay. So people who might be in this place of like, I know something is going on. I don't know what it is. Like they're not really trusting their intuition. And a lot of us on this path, a lot of you on this channel, we talked about intuition all the way through 2024. Okay. So that's part of Pathfinders. If you're interested in being part of Pathfinders, you can get all those lessons from 2024 about opening to your intuition and trusting yourself and all of those things. We're now moving on to meditation and really activating the spiritual path. That is what 2025 is about. Activating, harnessing the energy. How do I open up more to my gifts? Things like that. So the 8 of Swords, look at this. 9 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 3 of Cups, and the King of Swords. There's Aries energy there too. So what you've been wanting to happen, even though it's maybe sad or difficult, like in the world, what we've been wanting to happen is showing us right now the difficult nature of things on a 3D level. But I think there is going to be some celebration soon about what we're seeing. And some of you are going to be losing people or letting go of old structures. And even though there is some kind of sadness to it, it is progress. Okay, it is progress. You're shown up as the Knight of Pentacles. That's very linear. This is very Virgo. But as you know, South Node is in Virgo right now. So this is about activating and clearing past life karma. Ace of Wands, Three of Swords. What did I say about something like you're going towards something new, but there is a, I don't know if it's a rite of passage. Well, I'll explore that. Let's see. Oh, look at this. 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Beautiful energy there. How we got here is that I feel like we've been kind of meandering for a while, and some of you may have felt a little lost, especially at the end of 2024 and into 2025. Some of you've been really feeling the energies, the solar flares, the powerful astrological things. We've also talked about, I really recommend to you a book called The Yuga Shift, which is Vedic astrology, but it's all about these big ages. These, we talk about the age of Aquarius. This is a little bit similar to that, but not exact. It's really about the Bronze Age that we are likely in right now, which is an age of kind of degradation and ignorance and greed and materialism, and moving into a new age of enlightenment. And, when we talk about the age of Aquarius, a lot of what I've been thinking about the age of Aquarius is about technology. Nope. Come on back, Charlie. Come on back. Okay, please stop. Stop. Go in your beddy. Charlie, go in your beddy, please. Or come on up here. Okay, how we got here, the meandering nature of this. This is what, the wandering path, that's what we're kind of learning, is that time is not linear. And timelines are requiring us to do healing because we're experiencing time in a linear way. But when we do our healing, we're kind of crossing the bridge into something totally different. Okay. So yeah, there's the Chariot moving forward, the Page of Wands in the recent past. Look at that. 4 of Wands, Death, 7 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. So there's definitely something that's ending, and it can be a relationship that maybe has held you back. Although I don't know that you see that or want to see that. Some of you, this doesn't have to be a love relationship. This could be a parent. This could be a best friend. This could be a boss. This could be anybody in your life that once it ends, you realize how much it's been dragging you down. Like it's such a different feeling. And this can coincide with this Saturn Neptune conjunction. We do also have Venus and Mercury right around that same area right now. And Venus is going to be going direct in a few days, the 12th, right? Just when we have that full moon in Libra. So I feel like that might be the purging of this relationship, or this way of looking at relationship. It could coincide with an actual person leaving your life. But let's see what this 3 of Swords is. Magician, 7 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and the 6 of Wands. You've been manifesting this ending, but haven't really wanted it to happen. So on some level spiritually, you know that to progress on your spiritual path, you can't be hanging with this person anymore. Or you can't, what do they say about like you are like the 5 people that you spend the most time with? If you're being called to level up, then it's too much to hold on to a lower vibrational kind of entity, whatever that is. Could be an addiction, could be other things. It doesn't have to be a person, but it likely is representative of some struggle that you've been having. A struggle that you really haven't even known because it's so commonplace. It's like, we just think that this is what the 3D is, that we're supposed to suffer right? We're supposed to have this ending. But I just feel like you've been pushing back on this ending. On the other side of this ending is going to be this 10 of Cups. So in some ways, I got the 4 aces in my morning reading for myself this morning. And that just says to me that we are on the other side of something. The new beginnings are being offered. And there it is, the Death card and the 3 of Swords. The 4 of Cups, there's a potential for getting stuck. Okay? Because you're kind of wanting to look back at the person that you've let go of, kind of not wanting to let go of that person or let go of that experience. But in the immediate future, this is about you moving forward after this ending with this Death card right here. Okay? Talk to me more about the Death card, because I do see really good stuff coming in the future. This 10 of Pentacles, High Priestess, the technology. Oh, that's what I was starting to say before. The technology of the age of Aquarius can be spiritual technology. Did you ever think of that? Like, it doesn't have to be, computers and, pharmaceuticals, anything that we call into as science right now, science, technology, the internet, it can be spiritual technology. Okay. So that's what can be coming out of this ending. Again, I'm back up into the macro of this reading. What is the Death card here? This is the end of the Kali Yuga, I think. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Empress. So there's something to do with the Divine Feminine here. There's going to be some rage against the wealthy on this planet, definitely in the United States. Some rage about that, as you can see, kind of showing up in our lives right now. And the feminine energy, I feel like this is the time for feminine energy to kind of not smooth things over or anything like that. We have the full moon in Libra coming up, and that is about letting go of certain relationships that have been holding us back. Libra is about diplomacy and everything. I almost feel like there's an end to it's like no more Mr. Nice Guy. No more just letting people do what they want to do, running roughshod over systems and structures and things like that, or trying to pick the bones of things that are failing. There's not going to be any more of that. I feel like the Divine Feminine, dropping into your Divine Feminine right now would be a big help on the planet. Because this is really what we're going through, this impasse. Like, if you can't see your way through it, right? This is very 3D. But it's like not about using 3D tools. It's not about seeing it in the 3D. It's about shifting your own consciousness. The Empress energy, this Divine Feminine energy, is the one that kind of nurtures this Death, 3 of Swords, kind of brings us into the new, like mothering, like this is collapsed or this is ending. And the Divine Feminine is bringing us into, there's a new way, right? There's a new way. And it's kind of like, it's almost like not the way you think it's going to happen. This is not going to happen the way you think. Ooh, what's that about? This is not going to happen the way you think. Star, there's healing energy. The Fool, wow. 2 of Swords. Hierophant. Your job is to not, like, we're getting free, we're healing, we're stepping into this high level of our spiritual path. And it's like not about recreating this hierarchical stuff that we had before. So if a lot of you are going to be opening up to your gifts, a lot of you are going to be being seen as major teachers and healers and guides. And remember that it's not going to be about the old way where, the haves and the have-nots. Some people have a lot and some people don't. It's not going to be about that anymore, because this Two of Swords is here. Like, we're not going to rebuild what is just collapsing. Right. And so then there's this stage of like, okay, then what are we building? We're building a spiritual renaissance, this is what's being called for us. This is the spiritual path right now. Once this death happens, this death in the Three of Swords, it's like, stand back. Okay. Stand back and really be in your power, be in your spiritual enlightenment, really focus on a lot of healing right now. That's what's being asked of us. Some of us may fall into a dark night of the soul again. Some of us, but another level of it. Some of us may go through, some of the other stages, a heart chakra awakening or twin flame with a Kundalini awakening when this all goes down. This is happening by July, because this is destiny. This is like a moment in time that we're preparing for. Wow. Jumping timelines with this one. Never has a card been more true. When I saw that card, it was like my whole body shuddered, because I was going to talk earlier about how, if those of you who haven't really been able to jump timelines, or realizing that the wandering path is a jumping of timeline, and we're being asked to, witness what's going on in the world, stand back from it, shine your light as brightly as you can, and step into this new age of enlightenment. Okay, it's going to present itself to you. So let's talk about how that works, what's happening. We can talk a little bit more about the astrology. I feel like I've told you a lot of it already. So let's see what we don't see coming. This death card is major. It is about an ending of an old way of life. And we're talking about the collective here. Okay. So if you want to continue on, if this is interesting to you, there's a link below, and I'll see you over there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.